Fight with Cancer, Amalia Hawkes, Day 50.
So after that, I just discovered that, it's pretty amazing what she learned and what Jonathan needs to learn, you know. I know that I went through a lot, in the beginning when I started going to church and all, and I didn't put all my trust into God, but now that I had this chance to do it all over again on my second time of cancer, it just made me feel that God is really important in my life, and that's the way I like it, and nothing that we have here on earth is ours anyways, so just let it go, and He's going to provide. And hopefully Jonathan will understand that. I know that he said he's going to talk to Pastor Kenny tomorrow, and I think he needs to talk to him because he needs a little push. A big push, so. But anyways, I don't think he's going to come here on time to make anything on the video. He should be home by 1, so he's been just was having a really hard day. So I asked for, today I was actually, because I was so worried and to all our things that we have, I asked for Jonathan, not to lose his faith, and so just pray for him. He really needs it, and I don't want him to lose it, because I'd like to what Jonathan is now, from what Jonathan was before he started going to church. Thank you so much for everything you guys are doing. Your prayers are working. It's my third day from chemo, and I'm sitting up. Before that, I was actually in bed, asleep all the time. But I guess because I have so much things that I have to think about, I'm not even thinking about myself at the moment. So hopefully this won't cause anything to ruin all the stuff that I've done with chemo and all that stuff. But I have faith that it hasn't. So. Thank you so much for everything, and I love you guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
So as we were talking, I want you to explain to our friends here what you got from camp. You were telling me a story about who?
The speaker named Ron.
Uh-huh.
He was telling us on how he had he was going through troubles in his life, and there was a point where he lost someone that was very close to him. And he said, if that's the way he's gonna be, if that's what he's gonna be going through while he was walking with God, then what's the point? I'd rather just be with an okay life.
So he was going through so many bad things in his life at that moment, and he learned that
walking with God is amazing.
Yes.
He realized that there are lots of hard times, and there's so many scary moments. And walking with God can be scary, but
you have to have faith.
You have to have faith. There's God testing you in so many ways. He's always trying to test you to make sure that you do have faith in Him.
Exactly. So what did you learn?
That not to have lots of faith in God. And
not to what?
Huh?
To do what?
To have faith in God.
To have faith in God.
To have faith in God and not to question, because I know everything will be okay, because God's always going to be there with me.
Yeah. Well, that's actually what made me see a big point, and I want Jonathan, you to actually talk to Jonathan about your experience, and maybe he can get something out of it too.
I hope so.
Alright, bye.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. At this moment, it's 11:30, and Jonathan is off to pick up his sister in LAX airport. I think she arrived tonight at 11 o'clock. Because she's going to be coming and spending the day, actually the week with us. The Cancer Society helped her to buy a ticket to come down and help us out. Well, me and the kids and stuff, because it's been really hard since everything started to do everything on my own. So God is providing and I'm receiving. But today actually was one of the hardest days that I've had since I started all this, because I used to be in charge of all the stuff here at the house, like paying the bills and doing everything that I needed to do. And Jonathan was actually working, and I would do all that stuff for him, but because I got sick, I couldn't do it anymore. And it just, today was like, it just hit us really hard, because we saw the consequences after all that stuff, and we're losing our house. We don't have that much time here, but I know that, I trust God. I know everything's gonna be okay. But because Jonathan is such in baby mode of being so new to church and stuff, so he's freaking out and was really upset. But last night we asked for answers, and we received answers today, but the answers that we get sometimes is not all that we want to hear. And I understand that, we have to let go of our possessions here on earth, because they're not ours. God is the one who provided. And I know that, before that's actually the last day that I went to church, I had a vision that we were going to lose everything, and that Jonathan was going to lose his job, and that he was going to actually dedicate his life to God. I questioned myself, because I'm thinking, wow, that's a really big step, but why should I question that? If that's what God wants, we have to follow. I trust God, so I know if that was what's going to happen, I'm going to be so happy, because I know we're going to be in a better place, and He's not going to let us down. But because Jonathan barely understands a lot of the things, and like today we had a lot of discussions about what's going on, he was questioning God, and it was kind of hard to explain to him, because he's so new to this, to trust God and have faith. And he had a drive to go pick up his sister, and he called me back, and he said, something, we prayed for answers, and we got them today, but I wasn't just happy with the answers that we got. I understand that, but we won't always get what we need, what we want. God is going to provide to what we want, and I'm not afraid of anything like that. But today, as I was sharing, me and Nana were sharing, we were watching Corey's video from camp, and she was telling me how much fun it was and what she learned. And there was one thing that she learned, and I want her to share with Jonathan when he comes home, because I know I'll be asleep by then, but she'll be awake. But I want her to share with you what she learned, because I thought it was like the best thing in the world, that her being 13 and walking with me with God right now is just like, she understood, and it made me feel pretty good. So I'm going to turn off the camera real quick, turn the camera on Anna, and I want her to explain what she learned.